Hello, friends. Thank you so much for taking the time to uh, join me in this video cast. Um, the reason I'm doing this video is to share with you something that has happened in the last 4 years, over the period of the last 4 years, that has actually transformed my life, my way of being. Um, and I just wanted to share this because many of you have asked me, why did you get into this new way of life or living? And one dominant feeling that I have is the feeling of freedom, the freedom to share myself with others, not just my life, but my leadership as well. And so, to begin with, I want to uh, talk about an important truth, uh, and it's this, that I'm present here and you are present wherever you are. And I'm deeply aware of where I am, and I'm deeply aware of the presence around me. For those of you who believe in God, I would say I have learned to practice acknowledging God's presence, and wherever you are, you can acknowledge. And once you acknowledge the presence of God, you experience something that is more deeper. And this is what has changed my life. Um, I always say God has no name. Let that sink in. If you push him to ask for his name, he will reveal his nature. And God is. God says, I am. I'm the source of your breath. I'm the source of your wisdom. I'm the source of your love. I'm the source of your energy. I am. This undergirds everything. I realize that I'm not alone. I am surrounded by the presence of God. I'm with God, and God is within me. And so are you. This brings about the beautiful understanding of the human potential. And this is what I want to talk about because this has changed my life. Over the past of 50 years, there were some dominant feelings and the dominant ways of being that was really caused a lot of suffering and frustration within me, maybe to others too. And so this is what I want to briefly share in the time we have together as to why I got into this journey called the Kenosis journey. I hope you can see my screen here. And this is the journey of life and leadership formation. Pardon me, my throat is dry. Um, I believe that we are all formed. Culture forms us, family forms us, friends form us, and many external forces form us. But I also believe that there are things internally beyond us who also what we call as the spiritual uh, part of our lives are formed deeply. And this is what I want to talk about, which affects us in the way we lead, way we live life. For most of my life, was living from my head. Nothing wrong with that. Um, but I have learned now to live from my heart and lead from my heart. Of course, you need your head and heart working together. So, what I didn't know when I was growing up, the first dominant feeling that I had was melancholia, sadness, very simply. And I was, as a young child, very restless. Being a curious child, I was always restless, wanting to know things, wanting to understand things, and a lot of anxiety in my life. And most of the time, I was preoccupied. And here's the reason why. My parents always told me, my son, uh, you have to be somebody in this world. You have to be educated, you have to have a career, and you have to, um, you know, have enough money to live, which is absolutely true that we all do that. All families raise up their children for a good life and lifestyle. But the problem was with that I could not live up to my parents' expectation and dreams. I could not live up to myself, my own expectations. And uh, I was very anxious about it, and especially so most of the time preoccupied as to who I am, and very feeling sad, especially when I couldn't get into the medical school. I realized that it was something beyond my control. Uh, Even though I had very good marks in school, high school, I could not make it. So I was very disturbed as a young, teenager, 15 years old. The second dominant feeling that I had was discontentment. So because of the fact that I couldn't get into the medical school, what's next for me? You know, pursuing many things. I started pursuing many things, planning more, performing more. If I go abroad or if I study this, So I went had a lot of education in my life, and I deeply value my parents for giving me that kind of value for education. However, education was not helping me in the way I expected it to. I was planning always. I was living in my head trying to make things happen. There's always something better. The grass was greener on the other side. So I went to Australia, went to Canada, we came here to the United States. I was constantly trying to increase my performance, achieve many things. But at the end of all this, I was still dissatisfied. I didn't know what this was about. I had dreams that many times have failed. Sometimes I've succeeded. I did travel to 30 different countries, but I felt trapped in my own dreams. And the underlying feeling was not only uh, sadness, but discontentment, dissatisfaction. The third dominant feeling was feeling fragmented. This is a heart. We all have one heart, and we chase after many things. Our hearts get fragmented, broken, because I was unable to give fully to anything. I was constantly distracted because, I was trying to probably gain the approval of my parents, trying to please people, trying to please bosses or employers, or, constantly uh, trying to live up to other people's expectation of myself. And so I found myself highly distracted. There were many desires in my heart, many ambitions, but no focus. I was scattered all over, but not collected. So somebody said, "Oh, he's here, there, and everywhere." That is true. That was my life. And in 2019, I had achieved what my dream, job, career-wise. I was doing well, making enough money for my family, pretty good life, and had a promotion. But I realized that that did not make me happy. That did not bring the deep satisfaction I was looking for. Something needed to change inside of me. I tried to change my circumstances, tried to change people. It was not working. It was not working for me. And so when I talked to other people, I found that they were also, everybody was grabbing for something, wanting more, and trying to be more, and competing, and this was madness to me. And so that was the birth in 2019. Uh, Somewhere in July or August was the birth of this kenosis journey. The journey, a slow journey to find myself. It's a journey into the heart of God. It is the journey into living your full potential. And this is what was amazing, that has really changed my life. And I want to, during the last 3 years, God gave me the ability to understand my own human condition, and find a way to live this human potential. And I want to share that with you in the next episode. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to me.